Welcome to That's Life podcast with
Leah
and Sean. Thanks for tuning in for season 10.
Y'all, it's season 10. Like, we did 70 episodes of season tonight.
Wow.
Pretty crazy when you think about it. We're so glad to be here with you guys.
We are, and if you haven't done so yet, please like and subscribe on our pages on Facebook, Twitter, on Facebook, Spotify, and YouTube. And That's Life Podcast with
Leah.
And
She's trying to put us on Twitter, y'all. I guess we gotta work that out.
You gotta work it out. That's the old stage for
It's all good. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As she says, of course, make sure that you follow us on all social media. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify now. So you can go to Spotify. We're working out Twitter. Don't go to Twitter just yet because we're not there.
We're not there.
We're not there yet. We're so excited to be back with you guys. When you come in, show some love to us. Let us know that you're in the building so we can give you some love. We're going to do our sponsor. Yes, we have sponsors. Finally, we're so happy to show our sponsors of the evening. So our sponsor comes from Melly B Co. It's out to provide better alternatives for bath, body, and home fragrance. To see what they offer, go to mellybco.com, and you can of course follow them on social media on TikTok as well as on Instagram. And if you need their information, it's below, right there on the ticker. Right, utilize that in your spirit. Melly B has a great product, so please make sure that you go support small. Definitely, we have definitely. She's got great products, and we're excited about the 2 new commercials that we're going to be adding for our sponsor. Shout out to Melly B, which is one of our commercials this season, and we also are going to be sponsoring Carnissa Lux, which we're super excited about because she's actually going to be on our show this season. Yes. So we'll be showing her off as well too. So make sure that you go and check out our commercials that we're going to do because those 2 young ladies are doing great things. So on tonight's show, we're going to be talking about setting goals. You know how y'all do. New year, new me. Try to find the greatness in you.
Yes, absolutely.
You know how y'all do. And so we're going to be talking about setting goals. We're going to be talking about some statistical information as it relates to setting goals. And we're going to talk about ways to encourage and empower you because we're all about educating, encouraging, and empowering on our show. So absolutely. We're going to be talking about setting goals and how to make you achieve the things that you said you wanted to do this season. And stepping out into a new year, right? Why not? So when we come back from break, we're going to kick straight off into the show and talk about setting goals. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, my name is Talisa McKnight, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and about my business and answer a couple of questions that I get on a daily basis. So I own Carnissa Lux Hair Braiding Services. I'm 18 years old. I am a home-based hairstylist, and I will also travel. I've known how to braid hair since I was 4 years old. I started accepting clients a little bit over 3 years ago, and I started Carnissa Lux a year ago. Some of the services I offer are knotless braids, tribal braids, cornrows, island twists, invisible locks, quick weaves, braided ponytails. However, I do offer invisible locks. I don't do any type of natural locks or soft locks. Another thing you should know about my business is I am text and DM to book only. With that being said, please follow me on Instagram at Carnissa Lux. Thank you guys. Bye.
Introducing Melly B. Melina is the proud owner of Melly B Co. In 2019, she studied and developed formulas for artisanal handcrafted cold processed soap to give people an alternative to commercial detergents filled with synthetic perfumes and petrochemicals associated with skin disorders. As someone with sensitive skin and allergies herself, she was passionate about formulating soaps with the right pH balance. Established in 2021, Melly B Co. made it her #1 mission to provide skin-loving organic ingredients in all her products and to provide better alternatives for bath, body, and home fragrance. Additionally, she was featured in the South Carolina Voyager magazine in 2022. Melly B Co.'s soaps are nourishing and hydrate the skin while rinsing off easily. Melly B runs on a 3-tier selection. mild and unscented made with teas and infusions for the most sensitive skins, natural pigments made with French clays and natural powders scented with aromatherapy organic essential oils, and mineral-derived microcoloring with high-quality fragrance oils that are phthalate-free. Soaps are made in small batches, cut, cured for 4 to 6 weeks, and are carefully wrapped and labeled by hand before being shipped all over the country. Melly B is licensed and insured and operates out of the state of South Carolina. For additional information and to order products, check out their website at mellybco.com. Don't forget to follow them on TikTok and Instagram at mellybco.
Welcome back to That's Life podcast with
Leah
and Shaun.
We're super excited about coming back to you for season 10 as we talk about setting goals. We are all about educating, empowering, and encouraging you to live your best, fruitful life. So why not talk about setting goals? Because of course it's technically the first of the month, even though we're not at the first of the month. We're in January, and most of the times this is where people set their goals. So why not have a conversation about it?
Why not?
When you come in, make sure you show us some love so we can show you some love on our segment. Shout out to our music producer who's in the building, Mr. Hoodie. Thank you so much for showing us love as you always do. And of course, our sister from another Mr. Hey. So glad you guys are tuning in. Just like I said, make sure when you come in, drop us a little note so we could drop you on the big board, okay?
Right.
So as you all know, we talk about statistics, and that's just one of the things that we do on our show. We give you statistical information that will be beneficial to the topic at hand. So we're going to talk about setting goals, and Shaun is going to read our first statistic of the night, excuse me as I trip over my words. And this is coming from dreammaker.com. So Shaun, take it away.
I sure will. Thank you for that. According to the dreammaker.com, only 3% of the population set goals. Wow. Y'all heard me? 3%. Only 1% write their goals down. According to a study by Dr. Gail Matthews at Dominican University on goal setting statistics, if you write down your goals, you are 42% more likely to achieve them. The individuals who set time-bound goals and start weekly progress reporting encourage peers to achieve 40% more than those who did not.
And those are pretty crazy numbers if you think about it. 3% of the population, 3% set goals. And so obviously we want to make sure that we're encouraging you to set those goals that you have. This show, we're actually going to ask each other questions about goal setting and how to empower you to make sure that you're, like I said, living your best life and getting those things achieved that you want to do. Shout out to all those that are coming in. Thank you, Gigi, for showing us love tonight. Thank you so much for the compliment as well, too. So we're going to talk about, again, setting goals. So Shaun's actually going to ask the first question of the night. So Shaun, take it away.
All right, then. The first question I have for you is, what are some short-term goals for you to achieve?
So for me, I am big on short-term goals, right? Some short-term right off the bat, lose some weight. That's a big one for me. Get myself to the healthiest version of myself that I can be. Another big one for me is to kind of figure out what I want to do when it comes to my life and my career. And I am thinking about a career change because as you all know, when you get in your 40s, you start to kind of evaluate your life and figure out what you want to do. So that's kind of some short-term goals that I have for myself as it relates to me.
Okay.
Thank you, Courageous, for tuning in you snuck in here, but I want to show you some love as you did. So Shaun, my question to you is,
okay, hit me.
When did you start setting goals for yourself?
Well, can I be honest?
Sure. This is an honesty show, so I would hope you would be.
Okay. Well, I just started writing my goals out until I got with you.
Wow.
Yeah, because before, like most people, I didn't think it was important. It was like another day, another year, just do what it do, work, go home. Now I see the importance of setting goals and making a change, because then it makes it better me.
Absolutely.
And it makes it show that I've improved from where I was last year.
Absolutely. And it's important, like you said, that you're not part of the 3% that doesn't. It's important for yourself that you are setting goals on a regular day basis. And your goals will shift and change as you achieve some. You'll cross them off your list and you'll add more, because that's the beautiful thing about goals in general.
That's a great accomplishment to have when you can cross them down. It's like, hey,
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
So what's your question for
My
me?
next question for you is, where do you see yourself in 5 years, and what does your ideal life look like?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So for me in 5 years, I see myself, well, first of all, I see myself with no little people in the house, because in 5 years, Carmen will be a high school graduate. Yuri will be a high school graduate. They probably are going to be doing great things. So it allows us to be able to be empty nesters. So for me in 5 years, I would love to be able to leave where we are right now, meaning the state of Georgia. I've always envisioned going to travel. I love, everybody that knows me knows I love the water. Anywhere where there's water, that's where I want to be. So traveling definitely is something I see myself doing in 5 years. I see myself focusing completely on That's Life, and doing that full time, and not really working for anybody, because that's just what I would like to do. I would love to be able to put my time, money, resources into the show to make it a better show. So that's where I can kind of see myself in 5 years.
Okay, I see you.
Okay. So for you, dearest, name a time when you set a goal and you didn't achieve it, and how did it make you feel when you did?
Well, name a time I didn't set a goal. That's a good one. Well, I can tell you, there was one time I set a goal for myself, and life kind of happened, and it made it not be able to blend in right. So it kind of made me feel a little frustrated. I wouldn't say defeated, because I knew that I can get it back on another end. So just gotta keep trying. But I did not completely erase it off my goal, so it's still there. Eventually, I am going to achieve that goal.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about when you set goals, you know, sometimes we're harder on ourselves than we should be, because we don't achieve the things that we want to achieve right then and there. I could speak specifically about something you and I experienced together, which was when we bought our first home. And let me tell you all, I wish that our realtor was on this show so she could
tell you all kinds of stuff.
Tell you the stories about the home buying process. But I remember when we initially started looking at purchasing a home, it was right before COVID. It was around 2019. And we really wanted to buy a house. But everything that could possibly happen from 2019 until 2022, I would say, well, 2021, I would say, happened. She lost her job. I got, re-diagnosed with cancer again. Our car broke down. The kids went virtual. Like it was so many different things that happened in that time frame that definitely could have threw us off of our game, and we could have just not looked at homes. And one of the things that I remember our realtor always saying is that it's like a birthing process, right? You have to kind of go through the ebbs and the flows of the birthing process. And I'm grateful for her knowledge. I'm also grateful for her encouragement, because there were times where she could tell you, I was ready to throw in the towel, y'all. I almost threw in the towel several times, as a matter of fact.
That's true. It happens to some people, though.
And it does. And so that's one of the moments I felt like in our time when we were going through what we were going through, it allowed me to be able to say, okay, we didn't achieve this goal in 2019. We didn't achieve it in 2020. We didn't even achieve it in 2021. But in 2022, we did achieve our goal, and we became home buyers for the first time. And it was the most amazing experience. And it was worth all the things that we went through before that. I want to read this comment in the box from Gigi. President Carter said it best, that the only one failure is if you have never tried at all. And that is absolutely the most eloquent statement I've heard in a long time, that you really don't know that you can do something if you don't continuously try. So you're going to have to fall on your face a little bit in order to get through it.
I'm going to shoot the question back to you.
Okay. So for me, a time when I felt like I failed would definitely be when I didn't lose weight. And that's been a journey for me. as many of you all know, or many of you maybe don't know, when I was younger, I was very small, substantially small. I've always been, thick. I mean, because I'm a brown girl. You know how we are. We're just thick. But I wanted to lose weight. And I remember when right before I got pregnant with my children, there was a point where my weight was starting to increase. And then of course I got pregnant, and then I got pregnant 2 years later, and my weight kind of stayed heavy. And I felt frustrated. I'm not going to lie. I was really angry with myself. And then I fell in love again, got, married, and that weight only upticked. And so I remember right at COVID, it was in March of 2020, right when we launched That's Life, I remember telling my wife that I can't do this anymore. My blood pressure was out of control. I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't thriving. I wasn't living healthy.
That's true.
And I was very stressed out, so much so that even my mother was concerned at one point about where my health was headed. And I made it a point. I said, you know what? No more. We're going to do something, and we're going to lose weight. And I lost 40 pounds, and it was the best accomplishment for myself. And I'm looking forward to getting back to the point where I can actually feel good again. Obviously, my weight comes with a little bit of a situation, which is, of course, my cancer. But I can't wait to feel good again the way that I did back then. So, I'm going to get there.
Oh, yes, you are.
And I'm going to, keep on moving and keep it pushing and do what I have to do to get better.
It also works for having teamwork and having somebody that holds you accountable.
Absolutely.
As well. You got to have that too.
And I read a statement, which is like the most, other than the statement that Gigi posted on our box, this statement was the realest statement. It's actually on my calendar that I received from I Will Survive Incorporated when I was part of their shoot. And this statement, this literally 4-word statement, is the realest statement in the planet.
What is it?
It's stop dreaming and start doing. Literally, stop dreaming and just say you're going to do it. That's just the bottom line to it. Gigi said, I hear the weight loss challenge coming on. That you might.
Oh, here we go.
You might. And as a matter of fact, that is actually one of the biggest goals that I've set for myself for 2024 is to get feeling good again. So, challenge on. And I'm actually glad that I announced it, because now it helps me to be accountable to my peers, which is one of the tips that we're actually going to talk about a little bit later on. This is a good conversation. We're going to keep on the conversation about setting goals. When we come back from break, we're going to continue on the conversation about how to set goals. And of course, we're going to empower you by giving you lots of tips and tools on how to get goal, not only to set goals, but to achieve goals. Okay.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Want to advertise your business or product on That's Life Podcasts? Email us at thatslifewithleaandshaun@gmail.com. Packages include the ticker, flyer advertisement, video advertisement, or all three. Our Saturday show rates include the ticker at $25, flyer advertisement for $35, 2-minute video advertisement for $45, or 3 all-in-one bundle for $75. You can pay through Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, or Zelle. Let's take your product or your business to the very next level. You can place your order or start advertising by emailing us at thatslife0320@gmail.com. We look forward to working with you. First Ladies Automotive Repair is the first mobile female-owned repair company in the Atlanta area. Our mission is to provide each of you with efficient service with a personal touch. Let's take the stress away and get you back in gear. You can follow us on our Instagram page at firstladies_auto. You can also follow us on Facebook at First Ladies Automotive Repair. For details, for pricing, and for appointments, you can email our office manager at firstladiesautomotiverepair@gmail.com. Thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back to That's Life Podcast with
Leah
and Sean.
Thank you so much for tuning in tonight as we talk about setting goals. Each of us are actually going to hold each other accountable so that we can do this in real time. And I do want to throw the comment that was on the box before we went on commercial break. And I absolutely love a challenge. You know me, I'm all about a challenge and being integral. As we got called out from Gigi that don't start no, won't be nothing.
It already been brought.
Absolutely. We're going to definitely take on challenge, get healthy for 2024. We actually already started the process, which I'm very proud of. We've decided to go pescatarian as of January 11th.
Yeah.
It's been a very good process so far. We're watching what we eat. We're being more conscious about how much we're putting in our bodies.
We're not going to say the names, but somebody's been juicing.
I've been juicing, which we will talk a little bit later about that in our season. Because that's going to be a new business thing that we're going to be doing together as a family. And we've even started exercising. Shout out to the home team because she bought me a puncher bag for Christmas, and best investment ever to let out stress on the puncher bag.
Why not?
It's been a blessing. So it's just been good, and I actually can say that I'm feeling better. Obviously, I've been having some pains here and there, so I've just taken it slow. That's what I can do. Is just take it slow.
That's what we do. One day at a time, people.
Absolutely.
One day at a time, but stay in it.
Absolutely. Stay consistent and stay in it. Absolutely. Now we're going to go to our next statistic of the night, and I will be reading that one. Still coming from the same exact website as dreammaker.com. And here is what the statistic actually says. So from the same website, dreammaker.com, research on goal-setting theory conducted by Locke and Latham has shown that in 90% of the studies, individuals perform better when their goals were specific, meaningful, and challenging. And those are the key words to remember. Specific, meaningful, and challenging. Only 3% of individuals who make written objectives with precise methods reaching 10 times more than those who don't. So
there's that 3% again.
There we go with that 3% again, making sure that they reach their goals 10 times more than those who don't. According to Gallup, only 41% of people in the United States make New Year's resolutions according to writing down goals specifically. So 41% of people actually write down New Year's resolution goals. But there's a but to that. That same survey says that 35% of those individuals who start New Year's resolutions abandon them in the first week. And we do notice that. I'm guilty of that, if I'm honest about it. I know I've said in the past, I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to lose some weight. And I start off real strong. Then by February 1st, I'm like,
that's where that accountability partner comes into play. It's like, let's not.
Absolutely. And it's important to have an accountability partner when you're dealing with anything specific to as it relates to goals. You want to have someone that's going to kind of hold your hand, but also kick you in your butt when you need one. Shout out to Mr. Hoodie for this great quote from Amelia Earhart. The most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity. And that's absolutely right. Yes. It's difficult to make the decision to say, I'm going to do something. Yeah. And then the rest of it is just you actually going out there and going to do it. And that's just the bottom line to it. So I'm going to ask the first question of segment 3 to Mrs. Leach. So Mrs. Leach, what is something you want to accomplish this year, specifically this year that you want?
I would like to become ASC certified. So nobody can ever question my skills.
So tell people what ASC certification actually is and what it does for you.
So it pretty much just says that I'm certified to do certain things on vehicles. It's like I am certified and Georgia recognizes it that I'm in. So I got to do a whole test and everything to be able to get it. And then they send you a little patch and you put on the side of your shirt that says ASC certified.
Perfect. And like anything, when you do something, especially when it comes to a trade, It is good to be certified. Like it's people just, I hate to say it, is that people make it a number one priority that you have to be certified in things. I mean, of course, there's some trades that you can do that you don't need certifications, but in the case of an automotive tech, it is actually very good if you have certifications. Absolutely. So, well, I'm rooting for you. I think you can actually do it.
Well, thank you, kid. All right, so I'm gonna give you your question this time.
Okay.
If everything stayed the same, what one goal would you have the greatest impact on your life?
If everything stayed the same, what would be one goal that would have the greatest impact on my life?
Yes.
I would say, again, I'm going to go with losing weight. And the reason why it would have the greatest impact is because for people who have cancer, when they're in the best shape of their life, the likelihood that they'll actually go into remission is higher. And so I know how important it is for me to get my health on track so that I'm actually able to go into remission. And so obviously that's the greatest impact. Of course, you know, getting a good career would also be a great impact for my life as well too. Absolutely. So I would say one or both. Mr. Hoodie's got another quote on the evening. You got to get up every morning with determination if you're going to get into bed with satisfaction.
He's knocking out those quotes.
Amen.
Where's the
hallelujah? Where's the lie?
Where's the lie?
Absolutely. So my question to you, dear darling, is: do you feel that your goals are short, clear, and concise?
Yes, because I know if I make it too big of a goal, then it might become or seem unrealistic. So you want to always start small and go from that part to make sure you don't overwhelm yourself. So I make sure all mine is clear and realistic for me to handle.
Absolutely. Great answer.
Thanks. All right. Well, my question for you is going to get hot now.
Okay.
Do you have a timeline or deadline for your goals? If so, why? Why not?
So for some I do,
Okay.
and for some I don't. The reason for why I have for some is because I obviously want to challenge myself to not procrastinate about the goals. For the ones that I don't, because I feel like sometimes if I put a timeline on myself and I don't reach it, I disappoint myself and discourage myself. And I'm very intentional about goal setting. So much and so that I actually have a book. She can tell you I have several books. This is one of maybe
one of many people.
One of 6. But I'm intentional about writing my goals down so that I can actually see it. And then in the time, I do put timelines in it. I put, 1 year, 6 months, 2 months, whatever timeline I need to put by it so that I'm able to, achieve the things that I need to achieve. Absolutely. All right.
Hit me.
Question for you.
Okay.
Do you feel that your goals to this point have stretched you?
There's only one that I believe has ever stretched me. I want to say it on there. Sorry. But you know what that is. And the people who are closest to me knows what that goal is.
I actually do. So I will, for all intents and purposes, even though we're a transparent show, we're all about transparency here. We're going to keep that in the box. Okay. But just know we've talked about it before. If you actually go through our YouTube channel, you'll see it on our YouTube channel.
Yes. Gotta keep some things on the hush.
Yeah, absolutely.
My question for you.
Yes.
We became first-time homeowners in 2022. Why do you feel like we were able to achieve this goal?
Very good question. I will definitely say it goes back in line with what we talked about before, because it was meant for us in that season to be homeowners. I don't feel like it was meant for us to be homeowners back in 2019, 2020, even in 2021.
Okay.
We were not in a headspace to be prepared for our home. We were not, if we're honest about it, we weren't really financially responsible either. And I think that it challenged us to be more financially challenged in ourselves to be homeowners. That, and I feel like sometimes when God tries to get your attention in an unconventional way, he'll do something to kind of get your attention in an unconventional way. And we got comfortable. And so I think that in our discomfort, we were able to grow and become homeowners in 2022. So it actually worked out for the benefit of us.
In other words, we got mature.
Absolutely. We had to grow up.
Yes.
We are excited about our next segment. Well, our minute segment. As you all know, we started this about 4 or 5 seasons ago where we have a halftime where we give you a minute with something, whether it be a minute with the mini chef, minute with the mechanic, minute with the Savings Queen. But tonight, we are super excited. We're doing a minute with the Flavor King. Shout out to him. He has a really cool segment about teaching you how to flavor your food. So check it out. Minute with the Flavor King.
Enjoy.
Blend. You can put it on avocado toast, you can put it on chicken and beef, you can put it on anything that you want. But today we're doing avocado toast. For your ingredients, you're gonna use 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1/2 of a tablespoon of salt and pepper mix, 1/4 of chili powder, paprika, and lemon pepper. It's okay if you put a little more. It's always gonna be always good. Now we're gonna mix it up. And of course, if you need extra seasoning for your seasoning blend, you can always add more of your ingredients. So now we're gonna put this on our toast. Spread it all around, even on the edges. Then we're gonna add our lime. Now it's time to eat.
Hey guys, my name is Talisa McKnight, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and about my business and answer a couple of questions that I get on a daily basis. So I own Carnissa Luxe Hair Braiding Services. I'm 18 years old. I am a home-based hairstylist, and I will also travel. I've known how to braid hair since I was 4 years old. I started accepting clients a little bit over 3 years ago, and I started Carnissa Luxe a year ago. Some of the services I offer are knotless braids, tribal braids, cornrows, island twists, invisible locks, quick weaves, braided ponytails. However, I do offer invisible locks. I don't do any type of natural locks or soft locks. Another thing you should know about my business is I am text and DM to book only. With that being said, please follow me on Instagram at Carnissa Luxe. Thank you guys. Bye.
Introducing Melly B. Melina is the proud owner of Melly B Co. In 2019, she studied and developed formulas for artisanal handcrafted cold processed soap to give people an alternative to commercial detergents filled with synthetic perfumes and petrochemicals associated with skin disorders. As someone with sensitive skin and allergies herself, she was passionate about formulating soaps with the right pH balance. Established in 2021, Melly B Co. made it her #1 mission to provide skin-loving organic ingredients in all her products and to provide better alternatives for bath, body, and home fragrance. Additionally, she was featured in the South Carolina Voyager magazine in 2022. Melly B Co.'s soaps are nourishing and hydrate the skin while rinsing off easily. Melly B runs on a 3-tier selection. mild and unscented made with teas and infusions for the most sensitive skins, natural pigments made with French clays and natural powders scented with aromatherapy organic essential oils, and mineral-derived microcoloring with high-quality fragrance oils that are phthalate-free. Soaps are made in small batches, cut, cured for 4 to 6 weeks, and are carefully wrapped and labeled by hand before being shipped all over the country. Melly B is licensed and insured and operates out of the state of South Carolina. For additional information and to order products, check out their website at mellybco.com. Don't forget to follow them on TikTok and Instagram at mellybco.
Welcome back to That's Life Podcast with
Leah
and Shaun. And if you just got in, please drop a line and let us know that you're here.
I love her. Yeah, of course. Let us know that you're in the building so we can show love to you. Shout out to the Flavor King. I know we had a little snafu where he lost volume a little bit, but shout out to him for making his personal spice blend, which let me tell you, if you've never had any of his spices, you're missing a sweet treat. He is a great cook. So shout out to him. As you all know, that's also our son.
Yes.
So it just happens to be the Flavor King. So
and I will drop this little nugget. Shh, come here real quick. So that seasoning blend he put on avocados, I don't even like avocados. But that toast was good though.
Yeah, he killed it on the toast. But that was a great, we were glad to be able to taste that together as a family after this.
Don't tell him that though.
Oh boy, these are the things that we go through as a family.
Yes.
So as you all know, we always give you tips and tools on how to empower you. We're all about empowerment on this show. Again, we talk about we're here to educate, empower, and encourage you. So we are all about the empowerment piece. And now we're going to go to our tips and tools. And as you very well know, we always come with tips and tools and different things to help you be great and to do great things. Okay, so these are our tips and tools for setting goals. And I'm super excited about this particular segment because these goals come from Indeed.com. And as you all know, Indeed is known for jobs. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that Indeed actually does, but it also gives you some things that helps you to be able to achieve and live your best life. Okay. Absolutely. So we got 15 tips and goal setting from Indeed.com. So Shaun's going to read the tip and I'm going to read what it means. So Shaun's going to read number 1.
All right. So number 1 says, pick goals you're passionate about.
Okay. So here's the thing. You want to make a list of the goals that you hope to accomplish, right? Your goals should be meaningful, as we talked about before.
Yes.
And it should also provide you a sense of pride and achievement once you meet them. So you don't want them to be so simple that it's unrealistic, right? You want it to be a little bit challenging, okay?
Right.
You also want to make sure that the goals that you're doing are positive and move you in the right direction of your life. If it's something that you think is going to set you back or keep you stagnant, that's not where you're supposed to be. Nope. One of the things that we actually live by is if you're comfortable, you can't grow.
That's true.
The only time you can grow is if you're uncomfortable.
That's
okay.
True. That's true.
Here's some other tips when it comes to that. Write down what you want to do. As we talked about, get yourself a hard journal, a notebook for yourself, something that you can write down. And these things that you want to achieve, it could be from anything from your professional life to your home life, to your relationships, to your health. Okay. Make sure, again, that the goals that you're choosing are challenging. You don't want it to be too simple. Okay. Right. That's really the biggest point to all of it. Okay. All right. Number 2.
Make sure your goals are achievable.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a big one.
So here's the thing. When you set your goals, make sure these goals that you're setting are attainable. Okay. Like, for example, I say I'm going to save some money this year. That's one of my goals that's actually on my list. I know realistically, I might not be able to save $1 million.
Right.
Why? Because I have teenagers.
True.
Teenagers think that mom stands up made of money. So saving $1 million might not be attainable. So set realistic goals for yourself that you can confidently work through and eventually you can accomplish. Okay. Again, challenging, somewhat difficult to help you develop skills and learn new things. So you want to make sure that, again, the goals that you've set for yourself are attainable goals. Challenging, but attainable.
Absolutely.
Those are the two key things when it comes to setting goals. Number 3.
Be specific with your goals.
So this is a good one too.
Yes.
You want to make sure that you're very specific about what you want, the steps that you want to take to achieve it, the overall goal, and you want to make sure that you have smaller tasks to help you to achieve those things. Okay.
Yes.
Be as specific as you can. So you saying, I want to lose weight, that's not specific. I want to lose 45 pounds by March the 1st.
Get details into it.
Get detailed into it, because that's how you're going to be able to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself.
You know, that just made me think about playing chess. For you to play chess, you got to know your next move. You can't just move and hope that nobody's going to take your pawn.
You better preach.
Just saying.
You better preach. You have to be specific. Absolutely.
Number 4, write these goals down.
So we just talked about it. Listing your goals using paper or pen. I can tell you my best friend is big on the computer. He loves his computer, right? However way you need to set your goals, make sure that you write it down, because seeing is believing. Let me open it. Seeing is believing.
Yes.
Okay. And again, you want to make sure that you're doing the work to write it down. Don't just put it here because this fails us, but the paper doesn't fail us. So make sure you write it down. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
5,
Next one.
Reward yourself when you accomplish a goal.
So here's the thing. And I like this one, but I'm going to give it to you in 2 parts. Okay.
Oh boy.
So give yourself awards when you've achieved the goal. Okay. But here's the other part.
Yeah.
Every single time that you achieve a goal, you don't always have to reward yourself. Because what you'll do is you'll make yourself codependent on the reward, as opposed to the reward being that you actually achieve the goal, right? So here's an example of what they say. If I meet this goal by the end of the week, I'm going to take myself to the movies. That's a very good goal to have for yourself. Now, with goal rewarding, let me say, I'm being very specific about the words I want to use.
She's really very
when you
specific.
reward yourself with goals,
yes,
it is a form of self-care, and you do need self-care and self-love for yourself.
Yep.
But don't go so far on the other end that you think, like I said, that all you do is achieve the goal for the reward. Because again, the purpose of this is to challenge you and stretch you. Okay. So yes, reward yourself, but it doesn't have to be something that you do often.
Right.
Ever so often, especially because a lot of us do set goals of saving money, and you can't reward yourself and save money at the same time. Those two things don't go hand in hand.
It don't.
I'm just saying it doesn't. All right. Next one.
Number 6, tell others about your goals. That's the accountability one.
Absolutely. Having an accountability partner. And it's important. Make sure that when you tell people, that you tell people of your progress, and you also tell people of your setbacks too. Find a confidant, whether it be your coworker, whether it be your best friend, whether it be a friend of yours.
Yes.
Make sure that you're setting yourself for success, but you're also making sure that you have people that hold you accountable. Okay. This is the thing about it. Have occasional meetings of the mind, because sometimes, you say that you're going to do something and then, you don't do it. And then you'll have that accountability partner that says, hold on, boo.
That's not part of your goal right there.
Right. You were supposed to have done this. So let's shoot for the stars. So make sure you have an accountability partner, or several if you choose to have several. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next goal.
Number 7, prioritize one goal at a time.
So I also agree with this one, right? It's important that you focus on one thing at a time. However, there's a however to this.
Okay.
If you write this down, then you are more likely to achieve more than one at a time. Now, with that comes, don't inundate yourself with trying to do 10 things at one time, because you can't.
Right.
It's not even possible to do that. Not even the best person can. So make sure that you take one goal at a time. And then what you notice and that you'll find is that it's more satisfying and worthwhile when you do one at a time. Okay. Hey, my friend, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the love too. like I said, when you come in, make sure that you let us know that you're in the building so we can give you some
We can
love.
shout you out.
Absolutely. We're all, like I told you, we're all about shouting you out and giving you some love on the show.
That's right.
All right. Next one.
Number 8, visualize yourself achieving these goals.
So here's the thing. Picture yourself achieving the goal and think about the benefits that it will provide you. Okay. Give you something positive to work towards, and it will push you to finish towards the end of the road or towards the end at the finish line. Right. So if I say to myself, okay, I'm going to lose 45 pounds by March the 1st, I could the visualization that I have for myself is maybe a dress. Okay. That dress that I've been saying that I'm going to wear for the last 5 years that's been collecting dust in the back of my wardrobe. Because we all know we all got one. We all got that one shirt, that one pair of pants, one dress. But the point is, you put something visually in front of you that makes you say, I'm gonna get in that dress, and I'm gonna do everything I can to get into that dress. And it's going to keep you accountable for actually getting into that dress. Because if you don't do it, then you will have to go back and say, well, what did I do that I didn't get into this dress? Right. Okay. Visualize it, because visualization is important when it comes to goal setting. Okay. Yes. All right, next one.
Number 9 says, set deadlines for each goal.
So make sure that you set realistic deadlines for yourself, okay? You should write out your deadlines. So like I said, when we set a goal for ourselves, let's just say, again, we'll go back to the weight because that's just the easier one to use. And I'm going to keep saying
it anyway.
And everyone uses it, right?
Yes.
Don't say, I want to lose 50 pounds. How long is it going to take you to lose 50 pounds? Do you need to lose 1 pound a day? Do you want to lose 5 pounds a week? What do you want to do? Be very specific and give yourself the deadline. And if you say, okay, I want to lose 5 pounds in 1 week, and you don't lose it in 1 week, go back to the drawing board and figure out, why didn't I lose 5 pounds in 1 week?
Exactly.
Did I miss that day of exercise? Did I, instead of having a salad, I ate,
French fries?
Right. Figure out what it is that caused you to not have the goal achievement that you should have had for the week. Now she's thinking about French fries. Boy, it's gonna be a very interesting time.
Because I have accountability partner.
Absolutely.
All right.
Next one.
Number 10, evaluate each goal you do and don't accomplish. Well, you kind of just touched on that, didn't you?
And I did. And I'm gonna read you this because I want to make sure that I have all the wording correctly for this one. So make sure you return to your previous goals and evaluate each result of one. It may be helpful to write down notes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, it's important to talk about when you've met something and when you have not met something. And the reason is because it would help you to understand what things caused you to not achieve your goals. Okay. So if you write it down and say, again, I want to lose that 45 pounds, right? But you only lost 30. You wrote, I lost 30 pounds. Great. But why didn't I lose that other 15? These might be the reasons why, right? Make sure that you do the do's and the don'ts, because the do's and the don'ts will help you to become successful when you're doing your goals.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love that.
Absolutely. All right. Next one.
Number 11, stay positive.
Okay. So the hardest part sometimes when it comes to goal setting is that we are harder on ourselves than we actually should be, right? Give yourself positive affirmations. It's okay to say, it's okay. You'll meet that goal the next time. Encourage yourself. One of the big things that I love doing for myself every single solitary morning outside of pray is I wake up and I affirm myself. I tell myself, you got this, girl. You're Black girl magic. I say whatever I need to say to get me to feel good. And you are your biggest cheerleader, right? I know that we want to say it's our spouse and we want to say it's our children and we want to say it's our best friend, but you are the person who can encourage yourself when you're going through goal setting. Okay. Don't beat yourself up if you didn't get it all done the way that you want to get it all done. And that's part of surrender. And that's sometimes the hardest thing when you're goal setting, but learn how to surrender and trust the process. Okay. Right. And stay positive, even when sometimes it doesn't feel like it's positive. Stay positive. That's always at any given point. Okay. The next one.
Number 12, create reminders to continue meeting your goals.
So make sure you leave notes for yourself, use apps. I am big on my phone. People will tell you I use my calendar. I don't even try to remember it here because this brain has 50,000 things going on at one time, at any given one point. And so I use my phone as my reminder for a lot of things. I also have several calendars in this house. She can tell you. We have one on the refrigerator. Yes. We have two in our bedroom, and each person has one in their bedroom.
Yes. And there's one on your phone.
And there's one on my phone. So please set reminders for yourself, because that will also help you to achieve your goals as well too. So that, again, if you don't have an accountability partner, guess what? Your calendar will be your accountability partner. And as much as people complain about technology, that's where technology is great and can be used for good. Okay, because it can be the one thing that can help remind you.
Absolutely.
And you can't snooze it even if you wanted to. So
nope.
There's that.
There's that.
Next one.
Number 13. Give yourself an appropriate amount of time to complete them.
And again, we talked about that. Set realistic deadlines for yourself. Make sure that you're only moving these deadlines when it's necessary. So, for example, let's just say I said to myself, okay, I want to save $100, but I know that my kid has to do something for school.
Right.
Realistically, I may not save that $100. It's okay.
Yes.
Maybe I save, $50 and then put that $50 somewhere else, or I come back and I save it somewhere else. Again, don't change the goal just because you don't want to do it. Change the goal because something came up or it was necessary to make the goal change. Okay. Right. That's the key part of all that. That's all right. Good. Next one.
Number 14, remind yourself why you're setting these goals.
Constantly remind yourself.
Yes.
Constantly remind yourself. Let me say that again for the back of the audience.
I'll join you.
Constantly remind yourself. Okay. If the goal takes a significant amount of time to complete, remind yourself why you're doing it, and don't lose sight of why you're working towards it. Okay. When you look back at it, list your reasons for setting it in the first place.
Yes.
The reason why I wanted to lose 45 pounds is because I want to get my blood pressure under control. I want to beat cancer. I want to live for my grandchildren. I want to go on that cruise with my wife in 10 years. Whatever it is, be intentional about it and remind yourself why you set these goals in the first place. And listen, don't be a procrastinator. Because sometimes it's easy for us to procrastinate, but don't be a procrastinator.
Don't be that one.
Don't be that one. Just remind yourself why you set the goals in the first place. All right. Next one.
Number 15. Assess any possible risk of obstacles.
Okay. So here's the thing. You want to look at all the things that can cause you to not achieve your goals, right? Again, think about anything that may stand in your way. Keep those in mind as you set your deadlines for yourself. So let me give you a perfect example of one. So if I'm saying to myself that I want to save $100 this year, but I'm also planning my child's graduation party. I'm also possibly going to have surgery. I'm possibly also going to be going out of town. Those are obstacles. Those are things that are going to cause me to not save. So that is a part of listing it out, readjusting as you need to, so that it all makes sense for
Put yourself on a budget.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Put yourself on a budget, but also be realistic.
Right. Okay.
Again, that's the key part of all of it, right? When you're doing goal setting, is being realistic about all of it.
Absolutely.
I hope that you got something out of our show today. We want to make sure that you're living your best wholesome life. We want to make sure that what you're going into 2024, that you are not only goal setting, but you are achieving, because we want you to win. We're all about people winning. And I think far too often we just don't have people to encourage us and empower us to say, you can win. So from both of us, we're going to say it to you. You definitely can
win.
Okay. We're going to ask our last two questions of the night before we go into our encouragement piece of the night. So I'm going to ask my question to Shaun first, which is, what do you feel held you back from achieving goals that you have set in the past?
Myself. It's plain and simple. Myself. Having that willpower, having all these tips that we just went through. Every single one of them.
Absolutely.
Every single one of them. It's cut, dry, and simple, just like that. because you're the only person that can hold you back from completing your goals. Like we said, accountability is yourself.
Absolutely.
The determination has to be strong. The willpower for it has to be strong. You want to make that everything has to be strong within yourself. And at those times, sometimes it just wasn't for me.
And let me say this to you, because we talked about this last season when we talked about accountability and self-control. Accountability is big when you're dealing with setting goals for yourself.
Yeah.
Be accountable for when you set goals and achieve, but also be accountable when you don't achieve the goals that you want to. And that's a hard thing to do, but it comes with practice and repetition, and it comes with being real with yourself. And a lot of times when we don't achieve goals, like you said, it can be an outside entity, but a lot of times, more often than not, it's you, yourself, and you.
It's inward.
It's inward. Like I said, if you're pointing a finger saying that you caused me not to, you still got 3 pointing back at you. So recognize that, as they say.
As they say.
All right, so Sean's going to ask me my last question of the night, and then we're going to end our piece with the encouragement piece of the night. Before we do that, though, make sure you tune in next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. We changed the time slot. I know some of y'all who have been part of this podcast, y'all know how we go, but we are now 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and on Spotify and on Facebook at That's Life Podcast with Leah and Shaun. We're going to be talking about Your Gift Comes From God. I am excited about this show. We are going to have Shamika Maddox next Saturday for that segment. A very dear friend of mine who I've known for many moons. So we're going to be talking about Your Gift Comes From God and talking about how you can harness your gift and use it to be the best version of yourself, as we talked about setting goals. So doing those things. So make sure you tune in next Saturday, 7 p.m. 7:30. See, I almost stripped it up again.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7:30, 730, not 700.
And I'm going to tell y'all right now, the time changes because of me.
Absolutely.
I accomplished one of my goals, which is changing jobs.
Yeah.
Which caused the changing times. Yeah, that
Look, we need a clap in hands for that when we have to, because that was actually one of the things we talked about last season as well, too, which is when you don't like your job and being transparent about that. So shout out to that girl for changing her job and walking into her destiny and doing something different. I'm proud of her. She just doesn't even understand, but she knows. She's super proud.
I know. So my question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Now that I can get it out there.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like you frequently review yourself to see if you are staying on course?
If I'm honest about it, I think I could do a better job.
And how so?
I could do a better job of frequently reviewing myself, because what I do sometimes is I beat myself up for the times when I don't achieve those things. And so what that looks like is that instead of being honest about the fact that I'm not doing well, I tend to beat myself up about the fact that I didn't achieve it. Right. So I do need to do a better job of, once I put it in the book, keep reviewing the goals that I've set for myself. And that comes with, again, practice and accountability, which I'm glad I have an accountability partner who helps me to review it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you, sis, for saying that this was a great episode and a much needed episode. Shout out to you. Hey, Ev. Thank you so much for loving on us from Texas. I hope you're staying dry out there in Texas, because Lord, we've been seeing the rain, Jesus. And shout out to Gigi, showing you love. Congratulations on the new job, the new gig. It has come at a great time in our life as we're transitioning into better us, us as individuals and a better us as a couple. So we're excited about all the things to come. Okay. So, we always end with our empowerment piece and our encouragement piece. This is our encouragement piece at the end of our segment. Again, make sure you tune in next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we talk about Your Gift Comes From God with Shamika Maddox. Follow us on YouTube and, of course, Facebook and Spotify. So, Sean's going to read you the quote of the evening. So, Shaun,
I'm going to take it away. All right. So the quote is by Tony Robbins. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible.
Absolutely. Turn your goals, instead of saying, I'm going to lose that weight, put it in the book.
It's going to put a hole in that book, y'all.
Put it in the book. Thank you, Gigi. That means a lot.
Thank you.
All right. So my Bible verse comes from Proverbs 16, 1 and 3. This is the ESV version.
Okay.
The plans of the heart belong to man, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All the ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirit. Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight for episode 1 of season 10 and episode 70. This is 70th show, y'all.
Yes.
70th. So exciting. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Until next time, we'll talk to you.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you.
See you then.
Stay on your goals.
Bye.